You know, Sakura, there is a word in Japanese business culture that carries enormous weight. Yushu, excellence. For decades, it meant one very specific thing.
Let me guess, Professor. Showing up on time, doing exactly what you're told, and never complaining?
That is a bit blunt, but not entirely wrong. Excellence in Japan traditionally meant precision in routine work, data entry, document preparation, following processes with zero errors. The longer you stayed at one company, the more excellent you became. Loyalty and consistency were the ultimate currencies.
That sounds stable, at least.
It was, until AI walked through the door and politely asked, "May I take over?" Japan's Ministry of Economy estimates that by 2040, the country will have a surplus of 4.37 million office workers. 4 million people whose core skills, the very things that once defined them as excellent, can be done faster and cheaper by a machine.
4 million? That is an entire city's worth of people.
More than Yokohama's working population, yes. And the staffing industry is scrambling. 3 of Japan's largest agencies, ADECO, Parcel Tempostafu, and Pasona, have committed to retraining 160,000 temporary workers in AI skills by 2027.
What kind of training are we talking about? Like, here's how to use ChatGPT workshops?
It starts there, but goes further. They are teaching prompt engineering with Microsoft Copilot, building simple business apps, automating workflows. And here is what is fascinating. Job postings that require AI experience already pay about 270 yen more per hour than standard office roles. Excellence is being repriced in real time.
So the new excellent employee is someone who can talk to AI properly?
That is closer to the truth than you might think. A senior consultant at EY Japan made a provocative observation. He said people who complain they can't write good prompts are revealing something deeper. If you cannot give clear instructions to an AI, you probably cannot give clear instructions to a human either.
Oh, that is harsh. But kind of fair?
Very fair. He calls it verbalization literacy, the ability to decompose a goal into precise steps and communicate exactly what you need. This skill is identical whether you are directing an AI or managing a team. And he predicts that by 2026, the gap between people who have this skill and those who don't will become decisive.
That reminds me of something. I read that AI could let managers oversee way more people than before. Like, instead of 5 or 7 direct reports, maybe 20 or 30?
Exactly right. When AI handles the routine monitoring and reporting, a single manager can orchestrate a much larger team. Organizations become flatter, decision-making speeds up. But think about what that means for the definition of a good manager. It is no longer about being a caring mentor to 6 people. It is about being an architect, designing systems, setting clear parameters, and letting AI amplify your reach.
Professor, this all sounds very corporate. What about smaller businesses?
That is where it gets painful. In the e-commerce world, there is a very Japanese tendency. Companies desperately try to hire one excellent person who can do everything. Run the online store, manage ads, handle customer service. A one-person army.
I have seen job postings like that. Must know Shopify, Google Ads, Instagram marketing, photography, and be willing to carry boxes.
Exactly. And the problem is, when that person leaves, everything they knew walks out the door with them. An e-commerce executive described it perfectly. Knowledge should live in systems, not in individuals. The SMART model, he says, is what global manufacturers already do. Keep a tiny core team focused on product and strategy, and outsource specialized tasks to expert partners.
So excellence isn't about being a superhero anymore. It's about being a good conductor.
Beautifully put. An orchestrator. And there is another fascinating shift. A recent survey found that 78% of Japanese companies now want to build their own software internally. And the most popular tool for non-engineers doing this is ChatGPT. Regular business people are becoming developers. The line between tech person and business person is dissolving.
Okay, this is something I actually know about. P2C, person to consumer. One person, one brand. AI makes it possible for an individual to launch a real business that used to require an entire team.
I am impressed, Sakura. Tell me what you know.
Well, think about it. Writing product descriptions, designing landing pages, creating ad campaigns. AI handles so much of that now. An expert in Japan called it the most accelerating business model of 2026. And what matters most is not how big your budget is, but how precisely you design your offer. Who is it for? What problem does it solve? Why buy now?
You have just described what he calls design precision over scale. This is a profound democratization of excellence. The advantage that used to belong to large corporations, brand power, production capacity, marketing budgets, can now be matched, in some cases, by a single person with the right thinking and the right tools.
That must be terrifying for big companies.
Terrifying and liberating at the same time. Now, let me ask you, what happens when Japan runs out of its own talent pool entirely?
They look abroad?
Precisely. Nomura Holdings, one of Japan's oldest financial institutions, now has foreign nationals in 22 out of 25 senior positions in its global markets division. Nearly half of all employees worldwide are non-Japanese. This is a company that was once the very symbol of Japanese corporate tradition.
Wow, what changed?
Their acquisition of Lehman Brothers operations in 2008 opened the floodgates. It took years of painful restructuring, but it fundamentally transformed who excellent meant at Nomura. It was no longer about being Japanese and loyal. It was about being globally competitive and bringing diverse perspectives.
And on the other end of the spectrum, the companies that can't adapt?
The numbers are sobering. In 2025, Japan saw 124 bankruptcies directly caused by employees quitting, a record high, up 40% from the previous year. Workers are leaving for better pay, better growth opportunities. Companies that cannot offer those things are literally dying.
So the old bargain, stay loyal and we'll take care of you, is breaking down on both sides.
It is. And what is emerging in its place is something more fluid, more demanding, and ultimately more honest. Excellence in Japan is no longer about what you put in, the hours, the effort, the years of service. It is about what you put out, the value you create, the problems you solve, the systems you build. The input economy is giving way to the output economy.
That is actually hopeful in a scary sort of way.
All real change is, Sakura. All real change is. You've been listening to Narrative Japan. Until next time, stay curious and keep listening for the whispers beneath Japan's economy.